Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Bishop, and today I want to talk about a practice that's going on that many are not talking about publicly because it's controversial and it's very triggering for a lot of people in the spiritual community. And this is the practice of chakra removal. I wanted to bring this topic to light because many healers are doing chakra removal, but not really talking about it because they're afraid of the backlash this information brings. Because so many people, particularly in the spiritual community, have invested a lot into the chakra system. And many people are going to have a really hard time accepting that there is a 4D overlay chakra system that is not a natural system of divine origin. So whether you choose to remove your chakras or not, that's totally up to you. But I really thought it would be useful to have this information out there so you can make a decision for yourself. And then at the end, I'm going to share the top 5 benefits of chakra removal, along with 3 key elements that you really need to remove your chakras properly if you decide to do so. Um, Many of you that listen to this, you're going to want to have your chakras removed right away. It's going to resonate with you. You're going to understand immediately the freedom and liberation that comes with removing the chakra overlay. And then for others, it might take a while for this information to sink in. I learned about chakra removal a while ago, and it did immediately resonate with me. I never thought our energy system was meant to be compartmentalized the way it is. And I've always known that all the healing and source energy that we pull from comes from our heart space in the unified field. So even when you look at depictions of Yeshua, Isa, Jesus, and Mary, the colors of radiant light are always shown coming from their hearts. They're not coming from 7 different areas up and down. So first, let me go back and give a quick little background on the chakras. The word itself is a Sanskrit word for wheel or circle, and the chakras are vortex energy centers. Each one's associated with a different kind of energy, color, and frequency. And because they are energy systems that are compartmentalized, it's very easy to get one of the chakras out of balance, and then it can affect the others. So keeping up with clearing and balancing your chakras is a lot of work. It's really something that needs to be done every day to keep them in alignment. And that basic 7 chakra overlay system that I'm talking about, it overlays our central nervous system. And while the chakras can bring in positive energy flows, they ultimately serve as a plug-in for the false matrix system to latch onto our energy fields and siphon energy or attach to us. When energies attach, um, parasitic energies like entities, when they attach to people, it's most frequently that they hook into one of the chakras. In fact, the chakra system itself can also be representative of the 7 deadly sins and the 7 virtues, which again, that's a duality system from false matrix programming. So this chakra overlay, it's a 4D construct. It's not a divine structure in its origin. It was installed to control and to compartmentalize various energy systems within humanity, the human field, the human body, the human makeup. So, as I mentioned before, it overlays our nervous system. And why is that so important? It's so important because the central nervous system is absolutely critical for healing and spiritual evolvement. Our bodies and our souls cannot heal when our central nervous system is in a state of fight or flight or in a state of stress. And being in a state of fight or flight and being stressed, overly stressed, this has become the default method of operating for most people. A vast majority of people suffer from severe anxiety. So if AI and controlling factions can manipulate the chakras, they are accessing the nervous system and our ability to self-heal and our ability to spiritually evolve. Also, looking at the chakra overlay from a micro and macrocosm perspective using the universal law of correspondence, which states as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. The chakra system overlay chops up and divides the human energy system. So when you apply the law of correspondence, that would correlate to our collective and our planet being compartmentalized and divided instead of operating from a place of unification where all the parts are flowing together. So let me get into the benefits of removing this 4D chakra system. There are so many benefits, but I'm just going to give you the top 5. And the first one is a drastic decrease in anxiety. Once you remove the chakra overlay, you don't have this lower 4D plugin system for vampiric and parasitic energies to attach. You feel much calmer, more peaceful, more relaxed. You're able to get into a deeper state of meditation because you don't have all of this interference of the lower vibrations the chakras are bringing in. And the second benefit is an immense feeling of liberation and freedom. And this is because your cords that connect you to other people are connecting through the chakras. This is where people try over and over to cut toxic relationships, but the cords always seem to reattach. And that's because they're attaching to the chakra plugs. So removing the chakras gives you this great sense of freedom and liberation. And the third benefit is you're going to have more energy because you don't need to be spending so much time on trying to balance and keep your chakras aligned. Once you remove the chakra overlay, you're ultimately operating from your 3 brains, head, heart, and gut. So you're not spending time every day having to clear each chakra and keep them aligned. And the fourth benefit is a big increase in your own intuition. When you remove the chakras, you remove so much interference. It's like taking a layer off, the layer that comes between you and your true self. It takes a layer off that connects you to your heart and your soul. And our heart, this is Stargate. This is where we pull in source energy. So you'll gain a lot of clarity in your own intuition for better discernment and your overall spiritual growth. It'll be easier to hear the voice of your soul. And the fifth benefit of removing the chakras is it will help you get unstuck. Many people reach a plateau or a sticking point in the spiritual journey, and removing the chakras improves that energy flow and the connection with your heart, your soul, and beyond the veil. So many people feel like they entered into a new level of spirituality once they've had their chakras removed. So those are the top 5 benefits. You're probably wondering, okay, well, how do you do it? How do you remove them? And there's several methods and perspectives on how to do this. I have a process that I use. I walk people through activating the light body, and then we go in and dissolve the chakras and then remove any corresponding etheric hooks and implants. And then I end the session by encapsulating the entire aura energy field in a protective seal. But again, there's many methods. So if you're interested in this, choose one that resonates with you. And if you are going to pursue removing your chakras, please keep these 3 things in mind. I would say that these are the top 3 things to be aware of. Make sure that you're involved in the process and that you're giving consent. You need to really be aware and in participating with your light body as it's activated and you're making changes to the etheric body. I don't recommend just paying someone and telling them to go ahead and remove your chakras if you're not really involved in the process. That goes for really any kind of work that you have done on your energy field. You really need to understand the process you're going through and ask questions and be engaged and be present. The second thing I would make sure that you have done if you get your chakras removed is to make sure that you're removing the corresponding implants. There are always underlying implants and hooks and mesh structures. So make sure that those are being removed. I like to teach people how to remove them themselves even because this is something that you should really be doing on a regular basis. And then third, you're gonna want to use a protective sealing after the process. After you've made major changes to your etheric body, you really need to put up a strong shielding while all of these changes integrate throughout your entire mind, body, spirit complex. So I'll put a link to my chakra removal service below if this information resonates and you want to have your chakra overlay system removed. One of my biggest regrets in life is that I didn't remove my chakras earlier. Speaking from my own direct experience, removing my chakras has been one of the most impactful processes I've ever done. It removed so much anxiety to the point that people noticed. People noticed that I seemed calmer, more peaceful, and less anxious. So that's been my experience. And I do hope you found this information to be helpful. Thanks for listening. And remember, the key to all of this really is to operate from the core of your heart. And as Rumi stated, the only lasting beauty is the beauty of the heart.